I'm your host and medium, Angela MacLellan. Welcome to a special series here on Divinely Connected Podcast, where we will be featuring one-on-one readings connecting my listeners, just like you, with their departed loved ones. In each session, I extend a sacred connection where messages from the other side can be received, understood, and cherished. I believe that every encounter is divinely led. And through these intimate connections, not only do we open the door for messages from the other side, but we also invite healing into our heart. Each session serves as a reminder that our loved ones are still with us, guiding us, and offering their unconditional love from beyond what our eyes can see. Join me as we embark a journey of reunion, connection, and healing, where the bonds of love transcend the physical realm. Through divinely connected readings, we'll bridge the gap between here and beyond, offering solace, closure, and the comfort of knowing that your loved ones are still with you. I am Angela MacLellan, your host and medium, here to reunite you with those who you miss the most. Welcome to the Divinely Connected Podcast. Okay, so I do like to start again, whether you are here by chance, whether we're here because we're in desperate need of messages, whether we're just here because we're curious. We are definitely here on purpose, right? To hear what we came here to hear, no matter how it shows up. This is what I love so much about Spirit, is especially when we're doing group activities, whether it's a group Zoom, an in-person messages from Spirit, private group sessions. It's so amazing to me how Spirit will always come through in a way that can translate a kind of across the board, right? Meaning that even though I may be talking to someone else, it feels relevant in your own intuition is going zipping and zapping. Know that that's a thing. It's called piggybacking. Spirit knows that we only have so much time that I can hold my link for. And so they're going to maximize that time so that we get as much healing out as possible. Okay. And so it is important to validate your own intuitive experience that you're going to have tonight in listening to your own intuition, the butterflies, the goosebumps, the sensations in the body, the memories that it's igniting is all very much on purpose. Okay. And so piggybacking is when more than one soul on the other side is coming through. They get together and kind of decide what needs to be said in a way that multiple people can take it from. And so wanting to validate, even though I may be sharing a screen with someone who's where it's hitting for them, if it's also hitting for you, know that it's for you. That's why these group galleries work, is because Spirit is utilizing me as a medium to move their messages through. Okay. I do like to explain how my gifts work. So I'm mainly clairvoyant, which means they give me images. One image may mean 2 or 3 different things to me. And so there's always a back and forth, right? I do like to make sure that I am translating it properly. So I'll be like, how do you understand this? How does this make sense? You don't have to just agree with me. If you don't understand it, I go to my next meaning, right? This is not just a yes night, right? I don't want you just to say yes to me. I want us to take as much out of it as we can. And so there is that back and forth. I see in silhouette. So if a male figure steps forward and comes from above me, I know that that's a father figure. That could be a father, stepfather, grandfather, father-in-law, and uncle who play that role. But then they'll give me evidence so that we can kind of connect. To me, I always say it's like putting together a jigsaw puzzle, right? And so there is wiggle room because relationships are complicated. So if you had a best friend on the other side, she may come through as a sister because you loved her like a sister. We have to think of that with in-laws in step connections as well. So we do want to have an open heart, open mind. I do ask for only positive things to come forward. So if anything comes forward that makes you feel negative, it is for healing purposes, right? Spirit never wants to upset us. They want to help us heal. And so if something's coming through that may make you feel uncomfortable, it is for healing purposes. I don't predict death, so we take that right off the table and we don't have to worry about that tonight. And I think that's it. I think that's all that we need to know. We're going to just jump in. Okay. So I don't know who this is, but I'm feeling mother figure, but they keep saying happy birthday. So I don't know if it's her birthday or if it's your birthday. So who can take the mother figure and then the birthday? Usually I go back and forth. I go back a month ahead of a month. So that would be March, April, May. But because it's the first thing out of her mouth, I do feel like we're talking about like a relevant birthday, something that either just happened or just coming in. Does anybody understand that? How does the name like Rosie or Roseanne or Rosalind, how does that come in? The R-O. I don't know what else R-O would be. Rosie. And it's interesting as well because she comes forward. She keeps acknowledging the birthday. She also shows me the number 2. There's also the feeling of like snapping her fingers, but I feel illness. So even though she was sick, she may have passed rather quickly. Okay, Melissa, how do you connect to the chest and then the R name? How else do you connect to the father figure on the other side as well?
Yeah, no, my dad passed away 10 years ago, and my aunt just passed away in March, and
Okay,
my birthday was April 10th, and she, had COPD.
perfect. So this is just her way of stepping. How does the R name come in for you? It doesn't have to be connected to her, but is dad an R? Is their last names R? How does the R
His
come in?
middle name is Reed.
Okay, because 'cause they're like, "You
Yeah.
have to repeat the R." And I was like, "Okay." Perfect. So that's just validating, making sure that we got all, like, their little checklist to validate that I'm with the right person, okay?
Okay.
It's also interesting as well, they're very excited, they keep talking over each other, which is great for you, not great for me. Okay, so your aunt was like a mom. It's interesting as well because so there is this feeling of a quick shift or quick change for you. Okay. And so whether this was like a job change, a home change, a relationship change, to me, dad is acknowledging it. So I would go, oh, within the last 10 years, but it feels more relevant than that. So let's go back 12, ahead 12. Okay, 12 months. And so this is just his way of acknowledging the changes and the choices that you're making and coming through in a supportive manner. Okay. How do you connect to like, so when I see animals, they can be living or departed. And I see them in silhouettes and I see it in black and white. So how would you connect to like a golden lab or golden retriever style dog or size dog?
I'm not sure. I never had a dog growing up.
Okay.
Um,
So dad keeps
not
talking
sure.
about it. So this either means it's a dog that was his in his life experience, or he is talking about a new animal that's coming into the family experience, whether it's yours or for siblings or whomever, and he's just using it as a validation point.
Okay, that could be my sister because she is thinking about getting a dog.
Perfect. So this is his way of including her, right? Wanting to bring her into the reading so that we know that it is for both of you because it's really important. He keeps sliding a ring on my finger as well. So I don't know if somebody's engaged or getting married or is he's acknowledging that the changes in relationships within the past 10 years, but his way of acknowledging, knowing and loving and supporting. Okay. Really wanting to make sure that you know that he's not missing out on anything. Okay. He also labors my breathing. Okay. So did he have issues of the chest as well?
Not really breathing, but hurt.
Yeah. And I feel like I can't take a deep breath. Okay. And he just said I wasn't supposed to die. So is that how you feel? Or do we feel like if things would have worked out differently or if medical decisions would have been different, he would still be here?
Yeah, he died of cancer,
Yeah.
but, one of the things that happened was that it, affected his heart, like, his heart
Yeah.
stopped.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it was very
Yeah.
quick, like, just a couple of months after he was diagnosed, he was gone,
Right.
and
Right.
we really didn't expect it that quickly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's interesting as well because he keeps showing, mom still alive?
Yes.
Okay. So mom may also feel, carry, or harbor that woulda, shoulda, couldas, because when he takes my book and makes me go like this, that's my sign and symbol that we constantly go through the medical decisions and feel as though we missed something, we made a mistake, or that something should have been different. Okay.
Mhm.
And he
Yeah.
wants to acknowledge that does she have a new relationship?
Yes.
Good, because he's like, "Oh, let's talk to that." Like, don't even finish your sentence. We are jumping in. Okay, all good though. He's supporting. Okay,
Good.
good. going back, I'm like, you gotta let me finish my message. Wanting to make sure that because he says, Ange, I could not be sick in a bed for years. He goes, I couldn't and I wouldn't do it to the girls. Okay. And so it's really important for you to know, even though we feel as though this should have been or could have been different, he takes peace in the fact that it wasn't. Okay. Now, 2 things coming in, 3 things coming in. Keeps showing me a cross, which means that we
Mhm.
either have like a cross, or we are religious or spiritual. Okay. He also makes me take off my rings and put it on my other hand, which means that you or mom wear jewelry, but in a different way. You
Yeah.
understand that? And
Mhm.
so his way of acknowledging it again, letting us know that he knows of the choices and supports them.
Okay.
Okay. He also wants to talk about because is your mom remarried?
No, no,
Okay.
but they're fairly serious.
Yeah. And I dare say, remember how I went back to he's showing me someone putting a ring on their finger?
Mhm.
That this is his way of giving her permission to remarry.
Okay.
Okay. Because I feel like that is what is holding her back.
Mhm.
And wanting to kind of like they're still, like you say, she's in the relationship, but there's still a bit of wall. And so remarrying may mean remarrying, it may moving in, it may letting her heart fully love, however that
Mhm.
is interpreted. He brings through in a loving and supportive way. He also winks at me and says, she's not going to love him like she loved me, and that's okay.
That sounds like something he'd
Right?
say.
And it's so funny too, because oh, he's such a jokester. Because usually what they'll do when they show me this is, they show me the heart growing, and they
Mhm.
always will relate it to going from having 1 child to 2 children. You don't love the first child less, your heart just grows. And he
Mhm.
says 2/3 are his love and 1/3 is the new guy's love. He's keeping tabs or nothing, right?
Oh, that's
I
funny.
would feel like that would have to be his personality because Spirit has never shown me that before, right? That is uniquely to dad.
Yeah.
Okay. How does like the firefighter or like a hard hat come in for you?
A hard hat. He was a sheet metal worker and
Perfect.
often wore a hard hat at work. So,
Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect. So this is just his way of bringing through a validation, right? Validating them, interpreting messages correctly, but more importantly, that it's him and that he's with you. Okay. Do you have a
Mhm.
daughter yourself?
I do, but she has passed.
Okay. So this is his way of bringing her forward, letting us know that they're together. Because I was at what the way that I first interpret that as he brought me to the daughter was that he said it in the way of your daughter sees me. That's how he had me first interpret it. So it
Mhm.
is important for you to know that they are together on the other side. Were they both cremated or are they laid to rest together? Because he says, oh, but we're also together in earth too.
Um, no, but I have a locket
Mhm.
and it has some of her hair in it and some of his ashes in it.
Perfect.
So,
So validating. Spirit has never said that to me before. Validating that they're together there, but that you have something of theirs together with you, right?
mhm.
Validating that they're together and that they're okay. So your daughter would have had illness.
No, she died in infancy.
Okay. So I don't know what that means then. So when he shows me medical tubes, that's just my sign and symbol for, so that would be dad then, unless you were hospitalized at the time of birth.
I was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And dad would have been passed.
Not at that point, no.
Okay. Who's the other female for you that's passed? Oh, sorry, we said aunt. This is further back though. So you would have had a grandmother passed? Was it your mom's mom passed at that time?
Both my mom's mom passed before I was born, actually.
Okay.
Um, my father's mom passed when I was 21.
Okay. Just
Yeah.
because they show me you in that labor and delivery environment and
Mhm.
then the motherly figure standing with you.
Mm.
And it's interesting, and I don't know if you would know this or mom can validate this. And like she's coming forward in a way that we would be surprised that she's there. And
Hmm.
not just that you didn't meet her, but, like, maybe she was more of a buttoned up person, or maybe she was more stern, right? Because she is almost like this warrior of protection for you. And even though
Mhm.
you didn't get to meet her here in this physical form, she has been with you throughout. Because she just says, she goes, "Oh, every couple of years, something insane happens to this girl."
Yep,
Right?
pretty much.
Yeah. And so this is like, even though you may not acknowledge her be or think of her as much because you don't have that connection with her, there is this validation that you know that she's there and that her validating being there and protecting you, especially through those seasons. Especially,
Mhm,
it's like when she can be useful, it's like really when she kind of comes in and really gets you through and gives that strength.
mhm.
Okay. Um, a few things as well. So, how do you connect to like the handprint footprint? Is that for your daughter?
Yeah,
Okay. And then you also have a box of her things?
yes.
Okay. And then what else besides, I feel like we do have the medical bracelet, but is there something else bracelet-wise?
Um, there's I had some jewelry,
Yeah.
um, that she never got to wear.
Yeah.
Um, Other than that, I can't really think of anything. I do have her medical bracelet, though, from
Yep.
when we were in the hospital, and I saved that.
Good. And so
But
this
yeah.
is all just her ways of validating that she's with you and validating not only the medical bracelet, that there was other pieces of jewelry that you have for her that she didn't get to see or have, validating that she's with you and she sees it now. Okay. It's interesting as well because she talks about blue eyes. So, did she have blue eyes or is that how you envision her?
That's how I envisioned her, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So know that that's her way of showing you how she looks. And she does say that she visits and she does say that you have seen her grow. Okay? Which means she'll come to you in dreams and visitations. You may feel her because they have me standing at the kitchen and then I can feel little people around my legs,
Yeah,
right?
that happens a
Validating that,
lot.
right? Validating that I have the chills, validating that that is real and that as you age, you will feel it will be to your knees and then it'll be to your bum and then they'll be standing behind you. And that's her way of showing you that she has been growing with you on the other side this whole time. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have a living son?
Yes,
Good.
2.
Good. So validating, she brings me to the brothers, validating, right? One, I'm interpreting the messages correctly, but more importantly, she's with you and she's with the brothers and she's with everyone. Okay. She also just said, this is nothing that you did, or there is nothing that you could have done to fix this. You understand that? And she also, and I don't know how to interpret that, because even though she's an infant for you, her soul is very old, right? Like she's talking to me, like dad's talking to me, like grandma's talking to me, and I don't know what's with the teeth. And I'm like, well, you didn't have teeth, you were a baby, but I don't know if there's like the boys are going through teeth stuff or like orthodontist stuff or whatever,
Yeah,
right? Do you
my
understand?
oldest just got braces.
There you go.
Yeah,
Validating that she knows of him and that she watches over. Okay. And
yeah.
it's really important for you to know that, like dad, she likes to be of use. Right. And so sometimes when we lose an infant, we feel like, oh, they're still like that baby. Right. And we can't ask them for help or guidance, but you definitely can. Right. Because they're very old souls and that um, can help us and guide us in that way. It's interesting as well because this is the third time she showed me a rainbow, but in a different way. So I don't know if you connect to the rainbows. Rainbows for me means that, there's a child after. It also means healing, but then she just like crocheted me a big blanket. I was like, okay, I'll say rainbow. Okay.
Yeah.
And so this is just her way of making sure that you know that. How else do you connect to the month of April, though? What else
Uh,
happens in
it's
April
my
for you?
birthday.
Perfect.
Um, yeah.
Yep. So just her way of bringing through the validations, and it's her way of letting you know. And it's interesting as well because she says that you only let yourself be so happy, right?
Yeah.
And so, especially on Christmas mornings, Easter mornings, birthdays, it's really important for you to know that she wants you to let yourself be completely happy. right? And to know that if she was meant to come through and stay here in the physical form, she would have, right? This is something that may have been unexpected for us, but this was always her path, right? And so her part is to grow and guide you on the other side and allow you to have that connection moving forward. Never withholding joy because she feels all the joy that you feel. Right. And so the best honor her is to include her and know that she's right there along with you. It's interesting as well. Um, and you may have to use your own intuition to interpret this, but like when she brings me to like the Christmas tree and then she goes, "Oh, there's always a gift for me." Do you
Yeah.
understand that?
Mhm.
So just know that she says thank you for that.
Okay.
She knows. And it's almost like you're fearful that you're going to forget her. And she's like, "How could she?" Right? And so it is really important for you to know that it is it's so interesting because I can hear you say, "I lost my baby girl," but she's like, "We're partners." That's how she presents. So like where you go, she goes. And her validating that. Okay. There's also something she says that there's something in the vehicle for her as well. So I don't know if you have like angel wings on your visor or you keep something spiritual or maybe there's a rainbow in there, who knows? But
Mm.
just know that there's something there that she connects to. Okay.
Okay.
And it may be like a protection prayer. It may be just, something girly. It's just her way of acknowledging that.
Okay.
Okay. Or it could also be interpreted of when you're in the vehicle, you may find a dime, a feather, whatever, right? And it's her way
Okay.
of taking ownership to that.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. I'm going to leave you with that.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Um, what that is. I have a male stepping forward. He's making me feel tragedy, but I feel like it's something that I haven't gotten before. So I don't know what the hell is in it. It's like
Mm.
I can taste blood. I can also feel like I'm getting hit from behind. Car accident, workplace accident. And I first immediately interpret it as a father figure that was departed, but then they made me change it to male. And so is someone connected to a very tragic passing or a very graphic passing? I don't know who I'm with. Um,
Might
yeah.
might be me, Angela,
Yeah, how
Linda.
do you connect to that, Linda?
Um, wait now. I've just lost a nephew last night in a tragic car accident.
Okay. Was he driving a truck or was a truck involved as well?
Yes,
Okay, because they just had me write down truck.
yeah,
Okay.
he was
But I
driving a truck.
feel like there's more to it or it feels less common than the other accidents that that they walk me through.
Right,
Okay. And so whether that means it's just like a freak accident, it doesn't even make sense how this accident happened, that type of thing. That's almost how as he was stepping forward and putting me through the experience, it was unfamiliar to me, right?
right.
And so, I mean, I connect with a lot of souls that have been passed in accidents, etcetera, and so this is just
Mm,
something that he wants to kind of highlight, okay?
right,
Um,
yeah.
what's with I don't know, how do we say that? Was he somewheres that we didn't think he was? Or
Mm, kind of wondered why he was where it happened,
yeah,
but I don't know. He might
yeah.
have been used to going that way. I don't know.
Yeah. And so it's interesting because he just has me having all the questions kind of swirling around. Okay.
Right,
Now he takes responsibility for the choices that he made, meaning like there was no one that should feel guilty or feeling like
right,
maybe a friend was like, "Hey, go to the store and pick this up for me," or "Hey, come pick me up here."
right,
Don't feel guilty. He's like, "I made the choices that I made."
right,
Okay. He also
right.
makes me feel like, was there another vehicle involved as well? Or is this one vehicle?
One vehicle, as far as we know. I don't have many details right now.
Okay. Because he almost makes me feel like I'm distracted. Like I'm either looking down, I'm looking at my phone, but then I look up and I'm like, "Oh my God." And I kind of
Yeah,
go like this.
I
Okay.
think he was distracted. Yes.
Yeah. But to me, there's something else in play, whether it's like a deer on the road or it was something, you know what I mean? There's something else there. He's still taking
Yeah.
responsibilities for his choices. Okay.
Right.
Now, it's
Mm.
also very important because he does show me seeing what is happening on initial impact in spirit, even though there was time before his body let him go.
Right.
Okay. And so
Mhm.
even though he may have been ejected or he may have been where we feel, oh my God, he was afraid, he was scared, and he was suffering, he shows
Right.
me that that God spared him from the suffering and that he's on the other side of that. Okay.
Right.
It's
Yes.
also, is it his mother still living or who's the female connected to him?
His mother is living. Yes.
There's also someone as well. Is there a sister or a girlfriend or a partner for him?
Yes. The partner.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. Because there may have also been and I can't figure it out if it's for mom or for a girlfriend because he acknowledges how they are beside themselves. Okay.
Right.
Validating that he is present with them and helping them through this.
Right.
Okay. He also acknowledges and he keeps putting water under the bridge, which is my sign and symbol and then brings me to spicy words. So I don't know if he was spicy or there was a little bit of a conflict, right? Maybe he was cranky going to work or whatever. However that
Right.
comes in, he doesn't want
Hmm.
them to feel regret um
Right.
connected to last conversations, that type of thing.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Um, it's also important as well. I don't know what that means though. Okay. He keeps bringing me through the decisions that are and will be made on his behalf. And he
Hmm.
does show them. I don't know if he's going to be cremated, but they are showing me
Hmm.
that he is approving of the choices.
Right.
Okay.
Oh,
He also
yes.
brings me to what looks like dog tags, to be honest. So this could be a necklace, it could be pendants. This could be something that is made in memory of him or something that that he owns and that they're including, addressing, whatever. He's using it as a
Right.
validation. Okay.
Okay. Hmm.
Um he is very hard to stay on task with his communicate. I'm like, "Okay, let's get back to work. Come on. Bring it back."
Okay.
That would be
Yeah.
his personality though, right?
I think so. I think
Yeah,
so. Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
Um
Yeah.
and so you know, to connect with someone who is so recently passed,
Right.
one, to show that he has come through, especially in a setting like this,
Yes.
is to validate that he's at peace and with God.
Good. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for him to communicate as efficiently as he is, it
Hmm.
is also to show you that he is fully transitioned over. Okay,
Right.
because there's often a lot
Hmm.
of worry, and there's a
Right.
lot of falsehoods around, they're really not crossed over until everything is all done, and he's like, "No, I'm with God." There's a father there with him as well, so whether it's his father or a grandfather or whomever the father figure is, he says,
Could
"I
be.
was not alone."
Could be his grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure that you know that he came and stood with him while he was crossing over. Because it wasn't immediate, even though his soul got to get outside of his body, that
Right.
there was time between between the accident and the actual departure, but know that his soul was already safe with the dad on the other side.
It's good to
Okay?
know.
Good.
Hmm.
Good. All
Yeah.
right. I'm gonna leave you with that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. It's interesting too because that's one of the questions that I get a lot of do we connect with do they start to communicate with us right away? And it to me from what I hear from my own experiences, it's immediate. Right? And I read a lot of the stuff and a lot of the new age stuff where, you know, um people may believe like, oh, they didn't cross over or they're kind of lost in the in between. That is not aligned with my beliefs. You are here or you are there. That is there's not really that big long transition. It is very much just quickly like that. Okay. It's also interesting as well because I know, and as you guys have experienced, that from the departure in like even the week of the services and everything like that, you may feel their presence so extreme. You may feel them so strong. And that's their way of letting you know that they're helping you through that and that they're okay. Right. And so they're not earthbound. They're not tied to earth. They're in heaven and they're prioritizing helping you through that season. And it's not that then they get busy and forget about you. It is one of those things. And it's interesting as well because I am just like you guys with all my questions when it comes to spirit. And I ask them, I'm like, why grief? Like, why do we have to feel like this? Why are you here some days and we know that you're here? And then the other days you're here, but you don't let us feel you. And the way that they bring it through is that if we were constantly in spirit or we were constantly connecting to them, then we would not be healing and learning in the ways that we need to. Right. And so they say it in a way that they're always with us, but only sometimes we have the ability to feel them. Right. And so that's kind of like the answers that they give me thus far because it doesn't make sense. And it also frustrates me on everybody's behalf that it grief overpowers everything, right? And so even if you are intuitive and you have your own senses, if you're going through grief, you're not feeling them nearly as often as they are there or as consistently as they are there. And it's such like a oxymoron because you have to start going through the grieving process to be able to feel them and get your signs and symbols when we think if we would have just feel them and get our signs and symbols, it would help us heal. Right. And so it's frustrating. Grief is extremely hard. I don't know who this is. Okay. Is there another person who has lost a daughter? Who else connects to the daughter on the other side? All I hear is mama, 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 mama. I also have a male here. All right. They're just making me work harder. That's all. So I have a young female on the other side that could be miscarriage stillborn or young departure. Young departure for me, I would feel like in this case, it would be like preschool under. I also have a male father figure that is there as well. He's snapping his fingers, which is my sign and symbol for sudden or unexpected departure. Even if I was sick, we didn't expect me to die. When I did, he puts pressure on my chest, so heart, lungs, chest, breast, or anxiety. The J's, I don't know what that is, John or Jonathan's or J-O maybe. Is also significant or connected. That is crazy, Candace. Sorry, I just got the chills like crazy. I don't know if you're going to be seeing remember how I was like, I don't know what this is? Hang on, let me try to get close here. I don't know what this is, but it's like John, but it's John O. And I put John dot O dash. And that's literally what you wrote. That I have chills like crazy. So
I also have a daughter that's living.
okay. Do you have a sister as well?
I do.
Okay. Because that's the two girls that I keep seeing. Two living girls would be you and your sister. Okay. Okay. Hang on, let me try. Who's the mother for you on the other side as well?
My mom just passed away 3 weeks ago.
Okay. I said to her, were you scared to come here tonight? Because I said, Mom, you could have led with you instead of making me work through that. And she goes, it would have been too much. It would have scared her. Okay. Your mom was sick?
No, she died of a heart attack as well.
Okay. So she shows me, and this is what I need you to understand. Okay. She showed me looking back in pictures and her not looking right. Okay. And so now that she's passed of the heart attack, you're looking back and go, geez, her coloring wasn't good. Oh, mom was sick. Okay.
Yeah.
Mom is very stubborn, correct?
Yeah.
Because she is so firm with me right now. I'm like, yes, ma'am. Okay. And you need to know that, okay, she goes, this was my responsibility. Because she goes, I wasn't feeling good and I knew I wasn't feeling good. And so she chose to choose inaction.
Yeah.
Okay. And not wanting you or anyone else in the family to feel as though she could have been or should have been prevented. Her departure could have been or should have been prevented. Okay. Because she goes to me, I don't do anything unless I want to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so not wanting you to to carry that burden. Okay. Did you find her or were you with her at the time of the heart attack? Or did you not get to see? Okay. When they keep showing me her after her departure, that means two things. We either have seen her and it did not look like her, or we didn't see her and our imagination gets away from us and we think worst case scenario.
I don't know. I live in Alberta, so I didn't
Oh,
get to hear until I got home, like at the wake.
okay. So that message is for someone within the family because she keeps replaying the image and she makes my lips go blue, which is just my sign and symbol that she didn't look like herself. Okay. And
Okay.
that they don't want them to, whoever it is, hold on to that image.
Okay.
Okay. Um, it's interesting as well. She really doesn't want to talk about anything that is like sentimental or like that's going to help you. She's just like excited. She's just here for a good time. Okay.
She would. Okay.
Yeah, she would. Did you take a lot of pictures with you back home or?
I took a couple back, but I have a lot on my phone.
Yeah. So she showed me the pictures, but she wanted me to validate the physical pictures. So not only the pictures that you have on your phone, right? Because that's something that we all kind of have, right?
Yeah.
She validates it with knowing that you have taken items back with you, knowing that she knows of the ways that you choose to honor her and keep her close. She
Okay.
also wants me to acknowledge the tattoo. Okay. And so whether you have the tattoo or you're thinking of getting the tattoo, know that it's her way. Or again, opening this up to the family because she shows me this is for multiple people. The recording will be available for you to share. Okay. And so her way of acknowledging it. It's always the thought that counts. So even if it is something that we are just thinking of, oh, maybe one day we'll do this, or maybe I would like to have this done. It's her way of acknowledging, I know of the ways that you choose to honor me and to keep me close. Okay.
Yeah.
She's also a very like a busybody, like she likes to be busy or
Yeah, she loved going up gallivanting.
right. But she also like getting all the goop, right? Because she's just like, oh, I'm in on this conversation. I'm in on this conversation. It's just like her way of making sure that you know that she's not missing out on anything.
Okay.
Okay. She also talks about the grandchild that who like received a reward. So when they put a medal around the neck, that's my sign and symbol that they just achieved something. It could have been a hockey game, it could whatever, right? It's her way of acknowledging being present with them as well.
Okay.
I don't know what that is because I don't think that's how does the gardening or the plants come in?
I don't know.
Okay. So she keeps planting a bush. And I said, you don't come across as someone with a green thumb. And she just laughs at me.
Yeah.
Right. And so this may be, but it's only been 3 weeks. Right. Which means that hang on to the recording, download it to your device. And in 6 months, when you listen back to it, you'll be like, oh my God, my best friend gifted me a plant and I have it in my yard now. Right. Like that's how this works when it is a recent departure. So her bringing through this acknowledgement. There is no time on the other side. So she sees everything that has happened and knows of everything that's coming in. Okay.
Yeah.
How does the nausea come in for you? So were you like sick to your stomach flying home, or did you guys have the stomach bug recently, or how does that come in?
Uh, my son came home from school on Monday, sick to his stomach.
So
I
this
don't
is just this is her way. Her only thing that I said she's so funny, right? All she wants you guys to know is that she is okay and that she's with all of you guys. And that's why she's giving me the validations that she's giving me. Okay. Just validating that they're not missing out on the kids' life, that they're there with you, that they know of how hard that travel home was, how difficult making these decisions, and then even leaving to have to go back. Right. It's her way of acknowledging, making sure that you know that she is happy and okay with all the decisions that you have made. And more importantly, that she's with you. Okay. Um, And she's like, I know, crazy. I'm dead. Like, she saw that coming.
That would be
Right?
my father and I had that conversation yesterday.
Right? Validating that she was having the conversation with you. right? Like, this is what is so important. Like I said, you can see, and this is what I love when we do gallery readings, is you can see the personalities shifting as we go through the souls, but more importantly, the different types of messages that they bring through, right? And your mom is unbothered. She is unbothered, right? And wanting to give you guys permission to be okay to grieve and heal. Because she says it's like it's so crazy. Your mom dies, and then you're right back to school drop off and activities running around, and you just feel like my life is just continuing on without her. And that comes with grief, and that comes with guilt. And she doesn't want you to be hard on yourself for that. Okay. She
Yeah.
also, and I know that you didn't understand the tattoo, but she keeps drawing a heart on your arm. And so I don't know how else to acknowledge. I don't know what else that would mean besides tattoo. Okay. And so maybe that's the kids coming home with someone drawing on their arm with a marker, or however we interpret that. Just remember that she drew like a heart on your forearm.
Okay.
Okay. Um, was the uncle that passed of the heart attack her brother?
Yeah.
And he would have passed before mom.
Yeah. Like
It's-
20 years.
Okay. Because he shows me standing with her. Okay. Is her mom passed as well? Because the mom is there as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's also a sister energy. So that's either their sister or mom's sister or grandmom's sister.
No, her sister passed away too.
Okay. So letting you know that they are all together on the other side. And again, like I said, I find your mom very blunt, and she's like, see, I'm okay. I'm not alone. See? Right? Like, she just really wants you to know that she's okay.
Okay.
She also says as well, like, this is not the passing that you would have wanted for her, and that upsets you. And it's like, she shouldn't have died alone, or she shouldn't have died this way, or you know what I mean? She shouldn't have died at this age, whatever it is. There's this disagreement with it. Okay? And she says, regardless, no matter what, know that that does not affect my level of peace on the other side. And so she doesn't want that to affect your peace here in the physical form. Okay?
Yeah.
Are you guys East Coast people?
Yes.
Okay. I can tell by her jokes. So, I don't know how to say that. Was this like a very traditional funeral, or was she not churchy and then this was a church funeral, or what's with like the hymn like music or like the music? I don't know how else to interpret that.
At her funeral, the last song was kind of like a write-off, so maybe she's making fun of it because I said if she was here, she'd be sitting in the pew laughing her head off.
That's exactly what she is doing. Cause I'm like, okay, are we not churchy and we're laughing because we're in a church? Do we not like the music? Like, what about, because that's what she's showing me sitting in like a church environment and laughing, and I can hear in the background.
He would have died laughing.
Well, know that she did. Know that she was there and present, and she reacted to it just as you knew that she would. Okay? That is funny. That's a first for Spirit as well. Spirit is just giving us all kinds of firsts tonight. And it's so funny because I feel like as the years go on, that's what's going to stick in your mind. That's what the memory is going to be. And know that she wants you to laugh about it. She wants you to find humor in it because she certainly does.
Okay.
Okay. She also shows me the flickering and the dimming of the lights. So know that when the lights flicker and dim for no reason, that that's her way of letting you know that she's there. She says that she's already been doing it, but she also is going to amp it up at Christmas. So she must have been really big on Christmas because she just threw tinsel all over my Christmas tree, which is my sign and symbol like that. We like Christmas. We like all the Christmassy things, right? And so obviously the first Christmas is always very difficult. Know that she's going to make sure that you know that she's there. Okay. Is
Yeah.
there also another connection to December for you? Birthdays,
Uh,
anniversaries?
My cousin's birthday.
Mhm.
And my grandmother who passed's birthday. That's all.
So they just used it as a validation. They said, even though you said Christmas, we also still have to validate that there's a connection to December besides Christmas. Right.
Yeah.
And that's just their way of validating that I'm interpreting the messages correctly. Okay. So your parents were still together when she passed?
Yep.
Is dad, I feel like he's doing okay,
Yes.
right? And she's just like, well, he's forgetting to eat and like, turning on like the dishwasher, like things like that, but like that he's doing okay. And she wants to validate his ability to feel her. Because when they show me him moving through the house and knowing that she's there and can hear her, validating that that's real and it's not just him missing her.
Okay.
Okay. She also, is he, what is that? Can he not have a lot of salt? Or does he like a lot of salt?
I've been complaining to him because all he's been eating is soup.
There you go.
He has to stop eating so much sodium.
Right. There you go. Right. Validating that she is there, that she knows of what is happening. And she's like, he's even putting it on top. Because I'll tell you what, ironically enough, having a salt and pepper shaker is one of my regular signs and symbols. And how I normally interpret that is you must have just refilled your salt and pepper shakers or just got new ones, right? But when she showed me, she goes, it's the salt. He's going with the salt. Right? To validate, is there present for the conversations, right? And that he's going to be just fine is how she says it. And she goes, well, Jesus, the ladies are already lining up. That's what she says. And so just know that this is her way of just acknowledging the efforts on his part too. Right? Because I feel like she did a lot for him. And then there's almost like this intention of like, I'm going to do it myself, kind of like to honor her type of thing. Okay. And just know that that it is her way of acknowledging his intentions. She also just had my chair dip, which is my sign and symbol that when he lays in bed, he can feel her there. The bed either shifts or he feels the dense energy. As we fall asleep, as we wake up, we're completely open to spirit. And so wanting to validate to him that that's real, that it's her.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. Do you, I can't figure out if this is her with you or her with your children. Do you have the picture of her with you as a young person? Or is there the picture of her holding your young children? But it's like a bonnet. So like, that's why I was kind of like, is that you when you were younger? You know those white bonnets that would have like the little ruffle?
Yeah. I
That's
do
what-
have a like that.
Yeah. So this is just her way of validating it, right? As we look upon it, know that her soul's there with you in the exact moment. Her showing it to me is validating that she is there with you. Because she's not here with me. I go up into spirit. Spirit is with you. You know what I mean? And so this is just her ways of wanting to make sure that you know that she's okay and that she's with you and that she's not alone. Right. And so I don't know if she was alone when she had her heart attack, but there's almost like this feeling because she just keeps saying, like, I'm not alone. Know that I'm not alone. Like, I'm okay. And she shows me all the people that she's with. Okay. And so not wanting you to feel as though that she's not unhappy or not at peace. And it's interesting as well because she said, you know what? I don't think that I would have really been ready to go. So I'm happy to know, I'm happy that it was a quick departure.
Yeah, I don't think she was ready to go.
Yeah. But she goes, I would never have been. I would have been that 90-year-old one still going and growing with the driving and you know what I mean? And so whether it was now or whether it was in another 40 years, she said it would have been the same experience. She's happy that it was quick.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
and that's why, looking back on everything that she said and how she's saying it to me is very firm, right? Like she's like, I am fine. I am I am not alone. This is just because she doesn't want it to burden you or to upset you because when they are such a big personality that she is, when you know that she would have been wanting to stay as long as she could, we think there is no possible way she would be at peace on the other side.
Mhm.
Right? But that that changes as your soul leaves ego, right? And so her soul is completely at peace. And all the love and all the personality and all the memories go with her, right? And so it is important for you to know, even though mom's personality would not have wanted to ever leave, her soul is okay and content and at peace on the other side. Okay. All right. I'm going to leave that with you. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So funny. So I have a husband here, and he actually had me write down handsome husband. The handsome husband is here. Also alludes to either diet restrictions or a lover of like steak. Usually when they show me steak, that's my sign and symbol that we either couldn't have it, or we want it. We have it all the time. And then there's something about painting walls. So I don't know if we just recently painted our walls or we're thinking about painting our walls. Who can connect to that? To the handsome husband on the other side. My father referred to him as handsome husband. Oh my God, shut up. And I just touch up my walls. All right, Adele, you win. That is a riot.
Yes, my mother was married twice, and whenever my mother had a reading done or anything, and
Yeah.
my father or my stepfather came into it,
Yeah.
my father always referred to himself as the handsome one.
I love it.
And I just finished. I had a couple of spots on my walls, and I just this week took out the paint and touched up my walls.
Perfect. Perfect. So this is your dad's way of stepping forward, right?
Okay.
Letting you know that he's with you.
Okay.
Okay. How do you connect to the steak? Because he wants me to mention it again. Did you guys just have a barbecue? Did he really like it?
Do you know what? He died when I was 9, so
Okay.
I know,
Yeah. So then
you
this
know.
would be more something that would be relevant to either you or someone else in the family. We'll say it like that. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe somebody had it for supper. You're going to talk to them after the call. Just know that he acknowledges that.
Okay.
Okay. Who's the other male for you on the other side?
My stepdad.
Is there a younger person on the other side for you as well? So like younger than dad. So like a brother or a nephew or a miscarriage son.
I had a miscarriage, and I also lost a cousin.
Okay. And then the mother figure for you on the other side as well?
My mother just passed 2 years ago. Recent, yeah, her anniversary was just recent.
Okay. And so when they have me, so the way that my gift works, where I'm clairvoyant and I see them, I do ask for them to only come in one at a time, right? Because when they all stand together, I can't tell who's talking. So when they come in one at a time and show me them as a group, is for you. It is for you and your family to know that they're not alone and that they're all together on the other side. Okay. How do you connect to? It's like it's something that is significant, but it's like to me, I feel like I'm selling land, I'm selling a house, I'm selling a car, or there's
My
something
son's
significant.
trying to buy property.
Perfect. Good. And so there's the young male that they were bringing me to as well, wanting me to reference. Okay. And so knowing that even though he's living, that they want to acknowledge and bring through relief connected to this, meaning like that this is something that's going to be coming in for him in due
Oh,
time.
good. Okay.
Okay. They also show me either like June, July. That's the
Oh,
feeling.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he's
so,
actively searching for property.
yeah. And it feels like it's nothing and then it's something. And I also wouldn't be surprised. Make sure that he's telling people because it may be something that's coming up that's not even on the market.
Okay, private.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the feeling that comes in. Um, your stepdad wear glasses?
Reading glasses.
Yeah. Do you still have them or?
No, I don't.
So he just puts them in his pocket, right? And so that either means we still hang on to it, or he always just kind of is like, where's my glasses looking for them? That type of thing.
Okay.
Okay. It's interesting because he steps forward. And like you said, everyone that we have addressed already is kind of like here in a group. And I tell them to come at one at a time. Right. And so he steps forward and he just wants to acknowledge how, because he's been your father figure, right? Because you lost your dad. So
He was a big part of my life.
yeah. And so he acknowledges really being on your mind lately, right?
Yeah.
Wanting to make sure that you know that that's you feeling his soul with you.
Okay.
Okay. And it's his way of kind of addressing. I also feel like you have your own set of decisions that need to be made. right? And that there's some things that we're kind of back and forth on, and that he may have been the person that would have been the soundboard or someone that we would run the ideas by, that type of thing. It's his way of wanting to make sure that you know that he's supporting you as these shifts and changes are coming. And this is
Okay.
between now and the next 3 years.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Are you retired or we're thinking about it?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm thinking about it.
Okay. Because that's one of the changes.
Okay.
Okay. And he just rips the Band-Aid. So he says,
Okay.
like, you're probably never going to be ready. You're never going to be ready. So
Uh-huh.
just pick a date and rip the
And do it.
Band-Aid. Exactly. Because if you're waiting to feel super confident in that, you may not get to that feeling. You know what
Okay.
I mean? And just kind of know that it's going to be uncomfortable until you do it. That type of thing.
Okay.
Do you live by water though? Or do you have
I
a
live in
bungalow?
town.
What?
No, I live in town in
Okay.
Glace Bay by
Yeah.
water.
Yeah. There you go.
We
Like,
don't
can
have
you
a
see
pool.
the water?
No, but we do go to the beach. I have a hot tub.
Okay. How do you connect to Myra? Is that like where your son's looking for land or
No, no.
no
No,
Myra
the friends have the
connections?
bungalow. Just friends that have places out there.
Yeah. And so it's interesting because he keeps acknowledging it, which just means like
Okay.
as you go out in whether we're going for a drive or going for an ice cream or going out to visit the friends' bungalows, it is important for to know that they are there with you as well.
Okay.
Because to
Perfect.
me, he has such a connection to water, right?
Yes.
And so know that no matter what body of water that you're visiting, that his soul is with you as well.
Okay.
Okay. Was mom a little confused? Did she
When she in her passing, I think she was.
Yeah, because she didn't give me my sign or symbol for like dementia Alzheimer's, but I felt confused, which usually means like maybe it's medicine related. Okay.
Yeah, I think at the end stage of her death, she
Mhm.
was.
Mhm. Are you a nurse?
No, but I work in healthcare.
Perfect. So, because she just puts the nursing hat on you, which means two things: one, you're a natural caregiver, or two, that you do work in the healthcare, right?
Yes. Yes.
And she also wants to acknowledge all the decisions that you made on her behalf. She approves. That's
Okay.
before, during, and after the departure.
Okay.
How does the earrings come in? So do we have mom's earrings? Did we just get new earrings? Did mom not have her ears pierced? And that's kind of the
I
connection?
have some of mom's jewelry. I have an earring set from my wedding that I'd given her.
Perfect. Perfect. So just using that as a validation, one, that I'm interpreting the
Mhm.
messages correctly, but more importantly, that she's with you.
Okay.
Okay. Um, what are you always changing your house? Like, do you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm constantly I'm constantly doing something, picking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She goes, one of these days, she's just going, everything's gonna be different, Ange. You never know. And so this is just her way as well as validating being present with you.
Okay.
Okay. And it is true. Listen, because she just said, she goes, since I have left, nothing has been the same.
It
The
hasn't.
right. And know that that is okay. Because a lot of the times when we have a significant loss or we have the connecting, the one that the person that keeps everybody, the family connected, right? Then we feel like we're constantly trying to make life feel like it did before they passed, right?
Mhm.
That life doesn't exist anymore. It is, and so we keep trying to recreate it, and yet it's just always off, or we feel like we're always failing. Mom says it's okay to do it differently moving forward. It is different. Allow it to be different, is how she says it. And I also wouldn't be surprised if there is a bit of retreating on your part, meaning like maybe I'm not going to host Christmas, or maybe I'm going to kind of scale back my hours, or like whatever that means. To me, she's saying it in a sense that you are quieting your life. Right? We're not getting involved in the BS. We're not getting involved in the drama. I just want to live quietly and happily.
And that's exactly
Okay.
what I'm doing.
Good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
know that she is so proud of you and that you are doing the exact thing that you should be doing.
Okay.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Do you have grandbabies yet?
No.
Is it
I'm
just the
waiting.
one? Yeah, they're coming. So she does show me 3 grandbabies in total.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
How many children do you have? Because you said
I
you
have
mentioned your son.
I have one son and 2 stepsons.
Okay. And so to me, it's like a 2 and then a 1. So someone's having 2 and someone's having 1.
Oh, that
Um,
was wonderful.
yeah, and there's just this chubby little girl that is really significant, and I don't know if that means, like, she's gonna be named after or however that comes in, but we really wanna talk about this little roly-poly girl.
Oh.
Little baby in the diaper and just like, "Ooh," you just wanna, "Ooh," the little arms. So this is just her way of acknowledging knowing of the souls, being with them before they come in, okay, and her validating. I always say, "Don't tell the sons, don't scare them away.
No,
Let
exactly.
them be surprised."
I'm excited by that.
Yeah, but validating that you will have that experience in this lifetime and knowing that your mom is enjoying every moment of it, because she makes me feel like you guys were close, right? And that
We
there
were inseparable.
exactly. And so navigating this without her is so hard. And then even becoming a grandmother yourself is going to make you miss her even more. And so this is why she's acknowledging, I know of the souls before they come in, and I am so proud of you. And I'm going to be celebrating right along, because you're going to be very hands-on, and that she's going to be
Oh, yeah.
celebrating right alongside of you.
She was hands-on. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
hands-on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And her making sure that you know that you're going to have that opportunity in this life. Because she
Oh,
goes,
that's excellent.
if I don't do anything else while I'm here, if I don't do anything else while I'm here, is I'm making sure these babies come through.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Adele, I'm going to leave that with you.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. um, Lots of moms coming through tonight. Is there a connection to like a Marion or like a Mary? We're still keeping it. Okay. Okay, so I have the mother figure coming through. We're going with like a MAR connection. So Mary, Marion, Mary Ann, Margaret, that type of thing. She does show me a connection to smoking at one point in her life, or for her whole life. She also keeps putting pressure on my chest. So something of the heart, lung, chest, breast, or anxiety. But I also feel like multiple things are happening. Right. And so, like, my legs are swollen and I feel like I'm retaining water, but then I also feel like I'm having a hard time breathing. So, this could be because of the smoking or COPD. Okay. Taya?
Yeah,
Okay. How do you understand
sounds
this?
like my mom.
Okay. And how does she, what's connection?
Her name's not Marion, it's Gail.
Okay.
But numerous things were wrong with her.
Okay. And then, who's the father figure on the other side?
Yeah, it's my dad.
Okay. And then do you also have an uncle over there as well?
Yep.
Okay. So this is just her way of stepping forward. How else she's keeping the MAR? So there's also a connection. Is there like a sister or like a
There's
grandmother?
my grandmother is Myrtle.
Okay. So wanting to validate that they are all together. Okay.
I feel that. Yeah.
Okay. Who's the young male for you on the other side?
Nobody like child figure. No.
Okay. Young adult.
Well, several friends like that passed away like in their 20s.
Mm-hmm. Is there a suicide there as well?
My father.
Okay. And we would have felt like he died too young.
Well, yeah, he was 40.
Yeah. Okay. So that's how he's presenting. Okay. I don't know what that means. He just had me write down hippie.
Yeah, they were
Okay.
definitely hippies. My mom,
Okay.
her favorite word was groovy.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. You also, because they say that you also see them.
Yeah, I definitely do.
Okay. So validating that is real, and not only in dream state, like validating your
No.
own intuitive ability to connect.
They're my bald eagles that fly around here all the time.
Perfect. Perfect. It's interesting. It's interesting on how how assertive they were in coming forward, and now that they're here, it's almost like they're fumbling on like, okay, what are we going to say?
Yeah, they probably have lots to say.
Yeah, but like that would be their personality, like, you know what I mean? Like that's almost how it's presenting. And it's interesting because I am going to start with dad. Okay.
Okay.
And it's so interesting because he shows me, which is again, you're gonna have to use your own intuition to interpret
Okay.
this. And he says how there has been so many similarities with his life and your life, right? Is how it shows. And that when he got to to the dark spot, he left. And when you got to the dark spot, you turned to the light.
Yeah.
Meaning like you chose a different destiny.
Yeah.
Okay. And know
Mhm.
that he is so proud of you for that because he says it has not been an easy life for you.
No.
Okay. And that he is so proud of you because there's so many times you could have went a very dark and twisty
So
route
true.
and you didn't. And
So
that
true.
takes strength.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's so interesting because he gives strength, but he doesn't want any credit for everything that you have accomplished in this life. Okay. Meaning like he wants you to know it is all you. Yes, he's been loving you and guiding you and protecting you, but you are the one that's showing up and you're the one that's doing all the work and that he's so proud of you. He goes, but if you ask her, she'll go, oh, well, I have this and this I need to work on. I have to this and this isn't enough. And he's like, do you know what this woman has been through?
Right.
Right? And so don't forget that. And I think this is so important. Like I just had this conversation with a friend of mine and I said, listen, write down everything that you've been through in the last 6 years. So like you could do this in the last 20 years or whatever, right? And you'd be like, okay, yeah, I'm a fucking rock star.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? We forget so easily and we just automatically go in to be hard on ourselves. Right. And so this
Yeah.
is just his way of wanting to make sure that you know of how awesome sauce you are. Right. And
Thank
how
you.
really you have come such a far way in this life.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was 17 when he died, so
Yeah.
I
Oh,
definitely have found my strength over the years. That's for damn sure.
absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. You also have the young picture of him. Is there like shorts? Does he?
Yes. Yes.
I look good now in my little short shorts.
Yeah. Big beard and short shorts.
So validating one that I'm interpreting the messages correctly, but more importantly that he's with you and that he loves you and that when you look upon that, know that his soul is with you.
Thank you.
Okay. You look like mom?
I do.
Yeah. Did she also wear her hair long?
No,
Okay.
she never could. She never could take it.
Okay, but
Growing
she
it out.
loves your
She
hair
couldn't.
because she just starts stroking your hair.
Yes, she
Right?
always played with my hair. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. So know that this is what her way of stepping forward. It's interesting as well because she makes me feel like even though she had so much going on health-wise,
Yeah.
that we were still surprised at how she passed or
Well,
the timing of her passing. You
quickly.
understand?
It was very
Yeah.
quick.
It is important that that's so weird. She just said to me, which I feel, and she goes, you know what? If I had to stay longer, I would have just did that maid thing. That's what she said.
She would have what?
Done the maid where you can voluntarily pass, like medically
Oh,
assisted
yeah.
passing. And
Yeah.
so it's almost as kind of like,
Oh, yeah.
right? So no,
Yeah.
if it didn't happen that way,
Yeah.
it was happening is how she says it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
I think she was more surprised than anybody that it happened as fast as it did.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that, yes, because I feel like on a soul level, she goes, I was ready,
Right.
but I wasn't prepared. If
Right.
that makes sense.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Right. And so the quickly of us kind of did rock her a little bit, but know that she is at peace on the other side. She also makes me feel as though there was like she was unconscious before she passed, like there was time.
Yes.
And so it, right. And then it was who's the other female there with that would have seen her?
Yeah, it would have been my grandmother. It was
Yeah.
her. It wasn't her mother. It was my father's mother, but we're all close.
Good. And so this is just her way of not being alone, understanding what is happening, that type of thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. How do you connect to schooling?
For me?
Yeah.
Personally?
Yeah.
Not
If you don't
really.
work in school, you're thinking about going back to school, you're
I
thinking about
am
learning something new.
thinking about becoming bilingual right now. Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. So mom's way of acknowledging that. She shows me it is that it is going to happen. And it's just her way of acknowledging knowing of your life and supporting you in the choices that you make.
Well, and she's French. She wants me to be French.
There you go. You just made her face. How else
Mm.
do you connect to the travel? Are you going to like Europe or going overseas, or how does
I
that come
want
in?
to. I absolutely want to. Sure.
Yeah.
Yes. I wanted to for a couple of years now, but COVID, right?
Right.
So yeah,
So
now.
know that she's showing it. And to me, it would be a very kind of like backpacking type of trip.
Oh,
Right. And so just know that she's acknowledging it so that when the time comes in, which I feel like is within the next 2 years, is
mm.
that she will be going with you. Meaning
Yes.
like
Okay.
you're
Turning
right.
50. I think that
Good.
might be what we're doing. Yes. Okay.
Perfect. Right. So her validating that it's happening, start putting those pennies aside. And
Okay.
also again, you will have your signs and symbols from mom when you go through when you're over there as well.
Thanks.
Okay. There's also they want me to keep change like and I can't put my finger on it, but
Mm.
there's something changing with your house as well, or like your living situation. So I
Oh,
don't know if that means renos. I don't know if that means move. I don't know if that means simply changing the furniture. But then when they make me feel like the environment is changing, it's
cool.
either aesthetically or altogether. That's kind
Okay.
of how that comes in. So just keep that in
Yeah.
mind as well. And it's just their way of wanting to make sure that you know that they're there and that they're present.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Do you have an adult son?
I have 2 adult sons.
Okay. Who do we really worry about?
Yeah. My
Okay.
more adult son, my 20-year-old.
Okay. So know that is he making life choices that we don't agree with?
No, he just has a disability.
Okay. So know that because they double bubble wrap. So bubble wrapping them is my sign and symbol that they watch over him and protect him, but then
Mm.
they double bubble wrap. So I'm like, what is he doing?
Well,
'Cause
he
yeah.
falls. That's the problem.
Okay.
He does need to be double wrapped.
There you
double
go.
wrapped.
And so this is their way of wanting to acknowledge. Is he verbal as well?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
verbal. He's good. He falls. He has
Okay.
a stiffening syndrome.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because they acknowledge his intuitive ability to connect with them as well. Okay.
Yes, he does have that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also, I don't know if he like sketches or is artistic.
Mm.
And this could be hand done. This could be digitally, however that comes in. They just use that as like a really great, almost like intuitive outlet. Right. So
Okay.
like even for me, especially like in the years where I was like mainly developing, whenever
Mm.
I would get a block, I would just like get some paints in a canvas and just it doesn't have to be good. It's just
That's what
energy
I
out. It
do.
gets energy moving, right? And so they bring that through connected to him as well.
Okay.
Okay. What that means. And so is the other son like graduating high school or?
He graduated last year. He's
Perfect.
in community college.
Good. So they do show me the grad hat, which means that they were there and that they were present and that they're proud of him. I
Mhm.
also don't know, like to me, I feel like he's going to be your one that leaves, but also comes back.
I
Right?
feel that too. I
Okay.
feel so. Yeah.
Okay. And so again, there's also kind of with him, they're just like, oh, he's just a deep feeler as well. Like he's a
He is.
doer and he's an achiever, but he also wears his heart on his sleeve.
He does. Yeah.
Right. And so like
Yes.
that's kind of I feel like until he's about 26, 27, 28, he's going to kind of struggle with that.
Okay.
Meaning like
Yeah.
he's going to do well in life. Right.
Yeah.
But like he's really not going to feel grounded in himself for another couple of years
Yeah.
because he's sensitive. Right. And
Okay.
so I think like that transition until, but their way, like mom is she's just like, I'm there. I'm watching over him when
Good.
he leaves and he goes to the city. I'm watching over him.
Okay. Good.
Do you also have crystals and stuff? Because she just put
I do.
amethyst with him.
Okay. Amethyst. Yeah, I
Yeah.
do. I
Yeah.
it's that.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay.
And so this is just her way of wanting to make sure that you know, like they're fine, they're going to be fine, they're going to continue
Okay.
to be fine.
Awesome.
Okay. And that they are and that she's watching over them and protecting him. They also bring me to, and I don't know, obviously I'm not a medical professional, but your younger or your son with the stiffening, there
Yeah.
is something new coming in.
Okay.
And so there's still time because they show me
Okay.
4. So that's either 4 days, weeks, months, or years,
Mhm.
or the 4th of the month. But to me, I feel like there's time. So up to 4 months or 4 years,
Okay.
but that there is either a new doctor with a new treatment or a new plan. There's
Amazing.
something that's coming in that's new that is going to increase quality.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I think that it may feel like I can feel the nervousness because maybe it's kind of a little too new, but I feel really good around it.
Okay.
Okay. And
That's it.
so again, yeah, just manifesting, keeping it open into the universe that they're going to be bringing it in. And it does give a little bit of more independence for him, like quality
Yeah.
of life, and then him feeling more independent is going to be really great for mental health and all that stuff as well.
Amazing. Amazing.
Awesome.
Thank
All
you.
right. I'm going to leave that with you.
That was a lot. Thank you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. It was so lovely sharing beautiful messages with you. I hope that you have taken away from the souls that have come through tonight. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful night. You guys are so welcome. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Thank you for joining me on this journey of connection and love. As we conclude another episode, I want to express my deepest gratitude to you. To be able to do this work, it is a profound privilege for me. I have learned so much through my connections with you in spirit. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your spiritual journey. And thank you for being a part of mine. Remember, the connections with your departed loved ones are timeless and eternal. May the messages shared here bring you comfort, healing, and a renewed sense of hope. I'll leave that with you. May you walk in the light of love and know that you are always divinely connected. I am Angela MacLellan, your host and medium, sending you light and love always.